Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, first and foremost, I know I posted on Twitter, I think it was yesterday, that I actually intended on making a video and putting it up about Tanacon on Friday. But the more I thought about it, and after I watched the video in its entirety, I realized that there really isn't much to say about the situation anymore, everything's been said already many times in many different ways by so many different people. And with that being said, I decided, you know what, instead of just putting a whole production into the situation, I'm going to go ahead and just do a voiceover with parts of the video in the background running because there's really not much to say. So hopefully we won't be here too long, but I wanted to address a couple things. I asked you guys on Twitter if you guys wanted to see this video. You guys said yes, so here we are. Okay, so first and foremost, I went into this entire thing with the expectation that we would get answers because a few weeks ago, if you are new to my channel, you guys wouldn't know this, but I added Shane Dawson on Twitter, and I was like, hey, just so you know, your video could have been a lot better. And I got a lot of fucking hate for it, like so many death threats, which was hilarious to me because it's like, dude, like, you are so hardcore defending someone who doesn't even know you exist at this point. Like, and I'm pretty sure if they saw what you were posting and sending to me, they would not condone it to begin with. So why you're going so hard for this person, I don't understand. But it is what it is, Stans can be a little nuts sometimes, and I know that. But anyways, that's besides the point. A few days later, I get a follow back from Tana on Twitter, and I get a message from her, which was fucking weird. I was like, oh, all right, well, this is what we're gonna do. So I read the message, and in the message, she was super sweet. So it's like super sweet, like so nice. And she tells me that Shane had pointed her in my direction and told her that she should talk to me and ask me about the questions that I felt that should have been answered in Shane's series that were not answered. Now, I've had so many people, to this day, I still get comments and messages on Twitter from people who are fans of Shane or Tana, even people like the Gabby show. I get messages from so many people thanking me for my video and, agreeing with what I had to say in the video, which is fucking cool, obviously. But I had no idea how popular my opinion was until I started getting the messages. And because I assumed from the beginning, and you guys know this if you watched my video, I said right in the beginning, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I think Shane's video could have been better. We've already established that it could have been better. It's the general consensus. So the fact that I had Shane Dawson telling Tana, hey, if you want to really make this, this next video into something good, at least reach out to these people with different perspectives, which is exactly what she said Shane had mentioned. And she said that she wanted to reach out to people who had different perspectives on what had happened in the videos, I'm guessing. That's how I took it, at least. And she wanted to get the questions from us that we felt that were not answered in the videos. And so when she sent me that message, I immediately went and spent the entire day, literally an entire day, going through all the comments across all the videos on Tanacon on my channel. And there were a lot of repetitive questions. So what I did was I just condensed all of the questions into 11 questions and sent them her way. Now, I made a video, I want to say the day after I got the message from her, because I wanted my subscribers and anyone who was interested to know that she had reached out to me. And the general message of my video was that I was hoping that these questions would be answered, and she answered 3 of them, I want to say, in this newest video, which was pretty sad because out of 11 of like the most important questions, that they weren't people who were fans of me, they were their fans. Like, they were her fans, they were Shane's fans, fans from across the board, from all the creators who were invited to Tanacon. These were all questions that her fans had left in my videos. And so I'm glad that she answered the 3 most important questions, but there were a lot of things that were not brought up, that were not cleared up, I should say, and it sucked. It sucked, but it is what it is. In any case, going back to the original point, she reached out to me and I made the video with the intention of letting you guys know, like, hey, here's, the message, here's what was said, and this is what I sent to her. So this is what you probably should expect from her next video. And I was so excited hearing that she was going to make a video. Did I want her to make a 5-minute video? Absolutely not. Because when it comes to things like this especially, you cannot, it is impossible to sit in front of a camera and answer questions like the one I had sent to her, like the ones I had sent to her, I should say, I'm sorry, in 5 minutes, because there were a lot of things like contradictions. The biggest contradiction that I have yet to get answers on is at the end of video 2 in Shane's series, we see Tana on the sofa, and not on the sofa, actually, she's actually sitting on the table, and they're talking to Michael, and she's waiting on Michael, and she says to Michael, I was getting told by people that you had dropped their projects 6 months ago to work on Tanacon, okay? And then if you go back to video 3, to that same part, that entire area, that entire like moment there is edited, and it looks like it's almost like reshot, because even Michael's response in some parts of it is completely different from what you see in version 2. And Tanacon, her saying that he stopped working on other people's projects 6 months ago to work on Tanacon, that's completely edited out. And so when she didn't answer that question, I was like, well, that sucks, But that's just, I gotta be honest with you guys, I didn't go into this really thinking that I was gonna have all these questions answered. I knew what to expect, especially from this girl. It's pretty, self-explanatory what you're gonna get from her in a video. I mentioned it on Twitter. She is the queen of having a script when it comes to things like this happening, when it comes to shit shows, because she's had multiple situations where she's had to sit down and make a video where she's being real or telling the truth. She tells the truth a lot. For someone who claims to be so real all the time, I feel like she has to sit in the camera and apologize and tell the truth about stuff that she should have been honest about in the first place. The other thing I wanted to bring up that was kind of funny to me was that she kept saying that she had, I think she said it like 2 or 3 times, that she hadn't been on social media for about a month, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'll have the clip actually right here.
It's Tana Mojo. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. That's weird. I have now been off of social media for over a month now.
This girl was online the entire time. I'm sorry, Tana, but listen, she was on Twitter like crazy. She was on Snapchat like crazy, shouting out Elijah Daniel for her cameo on his newest album that's supposedly doing so well, and promoting his album, promoting her newest music video that she was producing, or whatever the hell she was doing with the music video. I mean, she was shouting out her girlfriend Bella Thorne on Snapchats and wherever she could. I mean, this girl she was online the entire time. And it's like, why lie about dumb things like that, Because people know, and people were calling her out for it in the comment section the entire time in her video, saying, girl, like, why are you lying about not being online? Like, you were online the entire time. She was on social media. She knows what's going on, okay? But anyways, going back to the questions and stuff like that, I went into this wholeheartedly with low expectations of having any of the questions answered. So the fact that she answered 3 of the 11 questions that we had asked was a lot. So as for the second question, I had asked her specifically about whether or not she was going to come through with her promise of repaying people who had traveled from afar to come to Tanacon. She does mention it in the very beginning and says that she talks about travel refunds, working on getting that taken care of. I'm hoping she does, because that could definitely help a lot of people. I've had people reaching out to me in my DMs on Twitter saying that they traveled and they would greatly appreciate it if she would help them with that. I got a lot of people saying they were, stans of hers or whoever the fuck. I don't know who people were fans of, but they were getting mad at me because I was trying to hold Tana accountable in that same thread to Shane. And I was like, hey, you made the promise that you were going to, help people who had traveled from afar to go to your event, your disaster event. You were going to try to help them get that money back, and you were going to give everyone merch who attended. And she also mentioned that as well. So I'm hoping she follows through with all that. And speaking of that, just to get this thrown in here because this is pretty important. The Gabby show, after the video had gone up, the Gabby show had tweeted at Tana. I'll put it up right here. Right, so it says the Gabby show tweets her. Tana Mojo, question, are you using the money from your video to reimburse flights and hotels for the people who came out? Now, there were a lot of mixed reactions. There were a lot of people who are saying, like, why can't you just, like, text her or call her? You have her number. Reach out to her, whatever the case may be. We have here some reactions I'll put right here. Someone asked her, do you really think she's monetized? And Gabby says, yeah, there's ads. She says in her video, I want to find a way to reimburse, so I think it's a great suggestion. Use the AdSense from an hour-long video with multiple ads to start paying people back. And she's correct, and these are some of the reactions that we've had from her. Once again, people are saying, just text her. Don't call her out on social media. People are defending Gabby, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I see this on both ends, okay? On the one end, do I agree she could have just texted Tana? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. But I really honestly see this on the other end of the fact that Gabby, she was also affected. Her fans were also affected by it. And I feel like she had every single right to sit there and call her out on social media. Why the fuck not, And to me, it wasn't her calling her out. It was just her holding, someone who was a friend of hers who had fucked her over, holding her accountable for her actions, And so that's why I don't think Gabby was trying to start drama. I think she was doing what everyone had been telling pretty much everyone, Shane, anyone involved with this. Everyone was saying, hold this girl accountable for her actions. And I think that's what Gabby was intending on doing, and she did. And now, if you go back to the comment section of her video, you can see people are calling her out on the water thing. Because in this video, she says that Michael had told her and Bella to go out and pass out water into the live stream. But if you go back to, I'm pretty sure it was video 3 in the Tanacon series on Shane's channel, she mentions that Bella and herself had taken it upon themselves to go out and distribute the water. That's just one of many contradictions that I'm sure people are going to find. And I know people are going to watch her video and they're going to sit there with a pen and paper, kind of like I did, and they're going to jot down every single thing that doesn't sound right to them. And I'm sure there's going to be hundreds of reaction videos made in the next few days. I know I'm not the only one. And so with that being said, it's up to you what you choose to believe. Do you believe Tana? Do you believe Michael? Like, who do you choose to believe in this? I feel like I go with the majority of people who say that they're both guilty on each, like, their own level. But ultimately, this is a Michael issue. A lot of it was stuff that Michael truly should have had taken care of as the professional, as someone who had hosted Tana, as you can see here, at an event before, and it ran flawlessly. That's the reason why she went with Michael, and she even confirmed that in this video. She says, I only knew what I had experienced with Michael, and that's the reason why I chose to ignore what everyone else was saying about him, whether it be James Charles or Bella Thorne. Her own girlfriend was saying, hey, listen, I get weird vibes from this guy, like, don't work with him, work with me, but because she had such a positive experience in the past with him, she's going to go off of what she knows from that past experience with Michael and him treating her well and all this bullshit and making sure that that first event went by flawlessly for her. But just to run this out, guys, because I'm talking for a while now, ultimately I think it's up to you guys, especially those of you who had paid money to go to Tanacon and you got fucked over. If you were one of the ones standing in line, you've now heard Tana's side, you've heard part of Michael's side. I still think that it was kind of unfair that Tana definitely did get more airtime in the Shane Dawson series, because she did. That's the truth. But it's up to you to decide whether or not you believe in Tana or in Michael. And we don't know if she was truly completely hands-on, like we see here in this clip. We don't know if this is how she actually was the entire time. She can sit there and say that she was. And but it's at the end of the day, we don't know. I'm hoping that if she does do a Tanacon 2019, which I've seen people asking her, like, hey, are you going to do Tanacon 2019? Are you not going to do it? Like, what are your plans? I'm hoping that if she does do it, that she takes the time to thoroughly make sure that every single detail is perfect and that she doesn't work with Michael again. I'm hoping that she has learned a very valuable lesson in things like this. And I hope that she can move past this, because like I said, I don't wish any ill will towards this girl. You know, I really don't. I don't have a bone to pick with her. Did I at one point, because she was being radio silent instead of, you know, talking to fans and talking to people who spent money? Absolutely. I hate people like that. And so, but as of right now, I don't have a horse in this race, you know? I really don't. I didn't pay money for tickets. I just saw all the comments from people who were saying they were being ignored, being blocked by, I don't know. It's frustrating to see things like this happen the way they did. And I'm hoping that she learns to, you know, not let things sit for too long before finally deciding to, you know, acknowledge what has happened. Because it's been weeks. It's been well over a month. And I completely believe that had people not started to kind of cause an uproar over the Shane Dawson series, I really do believe she would have just allowed that series to be her response. Because she says in the video, I'm fairly certain, correct me if I'm wrong, please. She says in the video in Shane's series, you know, should this be my response? And Shane says yes. And she's like, okay. I really don't think she would have gone to this point to make this video had there not been the uproar that there was. And so I'm so happy people are speaking out, or people had spoken out about it. And I'm just glad that people are starting to get the refunds they were owed. I really hope Tana follows through with her claims that she's working on different charity events. She's working on getting merch to everybody. She's working on doing special events for people who were affected by Tanacon, who paid money for this shit. I'm hoping she actually does what Gabby had suggested and uses the funds made from this video to pay people back for the hotels and travel. I just hope this girl makes things right and she's able to move past it and she has learned a lesson. And that's it. So that's all I'm going to say for tonight, guys. I'm going to get out of here. If there is anything else that I missed, leave it in the comment section down below. But I'm going to go to bed. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys next video. Love you guys. Bye.